It is that time of the year where the Premier League is officially over. And what better time than right now to look back at my great or terrible Premier League predictions, leaning towards more terrible here. Yeah, hope you guys are ready for this one. I do love making these. Where did I predict my team Liverpool to finish? How did my table look at the end of the current season? And obviously it's been one of the craziest seasons of all time with a pandemic right through the whole season, which has affected the whole world. But here we are at the end of another Premier League season where it's been kind of nuts. Let's react to my Premier League predictions for the 2021 season. The new Premier League scene is about to commence on the 12th of September. The 2021 season could be the craziest in football history. Chelsea are treating this transfer window like FIFA career mode. Man City nearly signed Messi. But more importantly, where are the teams going to finish in the new Premier League season? I forgot that Man City nearly signed the best player of all time. Remember that, guys? This might be the most difficult yet, so let's begin. First things to bear in mind, here is the table on your screen. Obviously, there are 20 teams in the Premier League, so 1 to 20. By the end of the video, you see the table fully stacked out, and I will predict everything. The relegated teams, the mid-table team, the top 6, the Premier League champions. There will be a point system though when I react to this Premier League prediction in about a year's time. And that is what we'll do now. For every placement that I get correct, that's 3 points. If I predict a team to finish 18th and they still get relegated, that's a point as well. And then also top 4, same rules apply. So who is going to be the 20th finished team? Well, if you're a Fulham fan, you might not want to watch this bit. I've gone for Fulham as the 20th team in the Premier League this upcoming season. They finished 4th in the Championship last season. However, obviously due to the playoffs, they beat Brentford, their rival in London, and now they're a Premier League team. And I don't think they'll be a Premier League team for too long. So we get our first point of the reaction video so far, as I did predict Fulham to be relegated. Remember guys, 1 point if I get a correct relegated team, and then another point if we guess the top 4 team. For each correct position, that is 3 points. However, I did predict Fulham will finish 20th, bottom of the league. Clearly, I forgot how terrible a season Sheffield United were about to have, as they were pretty shocking with 23 points. But Fulham finished 18th, which, wasn't too far off. Probably not the worst start to this reaction. Fulham did bring in 7 loan players during the transfer window, including players like Lamina, Alphonse Areola, who clearly was worthwhile for the Ultimate Team. And he was, to be fair, quite good for Fulham. He had a good season. Lookman played pretty well, but the transfers they brought in, who were actual transfers, in my opinion, did not do amazing. In 19th position, I've gone for Brighton. Brighton actually finished in the Premier League table last season with 41 points in the 15th position. But for me, they haven't strengthened enough. They have brought in Adam Lallana, which is a nice solid transfer and a free transfer from Michael Liverpool. But I don't believe their squad depth is going to last this season. I'm so sorry, Brighton. And any Brighton fan out there, I really apologise for this. Every year on my Premier League predictions, I predict they're going to get relegated or near enough relegated. I'm so sorry, and I'm happily going to hold my hands up and say I got that one very wrong. We don't get any points for that, so the point total there is still staying at 1. Brighton did finish 16th. It wasn't like they were, 10th or 12th. They were 16th. They were the, second team closest to the relegation zone. It's not that far away, but yeah, they had an okay season. I think if Brighton fans are watching this video, which they might be laughing at me for that prediction, but here we are, man. They would probably take that and maybe strengthen for next season. 41 points. Pretty good season for Brighton. They stayed up. West Brom, in my opinion, again, I've got that gut feeling and I've got to go with it. I just think they need to strengthen more in their team. If they do, they might survive. You see, it wasn't far off with this prediction. I really wasn't. I was literally 2 points off getting West Brom 3 points for my Premier League predictions, guys. I predicted they would finish 18th. They did finish 19th, 2 points behind Fulham. I thought they might turn things around halfway through the season when they did have Sam Allardyce as their new manager. Am I correct in saying that? Was he halfway appointment? I'm pretty sure he was. What's interesting about West Brom is how many players they will keep hold of for the next season in the Championship for them. Will they keep hold of Pereira? Will they keep hold of the players that we've paid a fortune for in SBCs in FIFA 21. Their prices have been through the roof this FIFA. Had to get a FIFA reference in there, guys. Had to. Now on to a club who West Brom fans won't like me putting them ahead of them in the Premier League. It's Aston Villa. Oh no. Oh no. That is such a bad prediction. Sorry, Villa fans. My bad. That's a shocking prediction. 0 points for that one. We're going to get as many points as the UK got in Eurovision, guys. They only just survived on the final day of last season, and they've somehow managed to keep hold of Jack Grealish. Now, if they do lose Jack Grealish, they might finish 18th, in my opinion. You see, that wasn't bad, but I did predict, in a way, Aston Villa would finish 18th without Grealish. Would that ever happen? He is obviously their best player. Do I think he's good enough to play for Man United, or maybe Spurs? Maybe more so Spurs? I'm not sure. Crap. That is a terrible take. Jack, you are good enough for Spurs and Man United. Yeah. I'm an idiot. I'm actually an idiot. Oh, God. Do you guys see Jack Grealish slotting into a starting 11 for a top 6 team? Let me know. Yes, you probably do see him starting for a top 6 team. But I'm going to stick with my 17th prediction for Aston Villa. To confirm, guys, Aston Villa did finish in 11th position in the 2021 Premier League season and had an amazing start, which I would like to forget about one game in particular. I think it was in October or November where we played them. Yeah, I forgot about that game. Not sure if you guys have. But 11th position there for Villa. 55 points. One of their best Premier League seasons for years. And yeah, there was a good season. I would probably say although they won their 2 last games and one of those games was against Chelsea, I think they could have really gone for at least top 10. I think Villa fans might be a bit disappointed not getting top 10 after the amazing season they really did have. But still, I think they take 55 points though. Fair play. At 16th spot is a team that I regularly do predict around this position, and it's going to be Crystal Palace. A team that I think we can all say we kind of maybe like. I think we all like Crystal Palace, right? No hard feelings there. Crystal Palace did finish in 14th position. They were only 3 points off finishing 16th position. They did lose their last 2 games, one of which was against us. But yeah, I feel like that's not a bad prediction. Crystal Palace might be one of the easier teams to predict. Maybe not next season though, without their manager Roy Hodgson. Very intrigued to see how Crystal Palace do fare without Roy Hodgson. He's been a really great manager for them. But I think I'll take that prediction, and I feel like that's not too bad. I will say when my predictions are bad, and there are some bad ones to come. At 15th position is my good man Spencer FC's team and Seb's team, his brother, who they won't like me putting West Ham here at all. I know they won't. But 15th position is what I'm going for West Ham. Welcome to the worst prediction of today's video. Leave a like if I am an idiot. Literally, I am silly with these predictions. Oh my God. West Ham completely just blew that prediction, guys, out of the water with their 6th place position. 65 points. West Ham are going into Europe next season. They were fantastic. They even challenged for the top 4. That's how good they were. They finished off the season winning 3 out of their 5 games and 1 draw and a loss. So it was a brilliant end to their season if you look at their results table as well. And, players like Jesse Lingard were fantastic throughout the whole season while he was there. They were just brilliant. David Moyes, in my opinion, should be the manager of the season. People are talking about Bielsa, and I do agree he's done a good job as well. But I think West Ham, David Moyes, I think he should be the winner of the manager of the season for West Ham. Got to give credit where it's due. They were incredible. I believe they made the transfer permanent of one of their midfielders. They did get Thomas Souček. I was correct. I thought I saw that on Sky Sports News. Slavia Prague, £50 million. But that's it so far. They got rid of Ajeti there, Scully to Lincoln. Not really done much in the transfer window, which West Ham fans can't be that thrilled about. Souček was one of the best players of the whole season in the Premier League, and their transfer of Jesse Lingard, maybe they can make that permanent because he was sensational. That was a shocking prediction. Now moving on to a club that, this might surprise you because I've said that Crystal Palace, West Ham are going to finish below this club. That club is Newcastle United. Now, if their takeover was to be completed by the consortium that was, agreed in principle to take over the club, then we probably would have been having a different conversation. Probably would have said they might be top 10 if they obviously bought players in fast Newcastle. But yet again, Newcastle fans been massively let down. The Premier League's handling of it wasn't great. To really drag it out when they could have sorted it really fast wasn't good at all for anyone close to Newcastle. The fans absolutely detest Mike Ashley. Got a few good friends, Newcastle fans, and they all say, yeah, they just can't stand the guy. And they still can't stand the guy. But I think this prediction of 14th for Newcastle wasn't that bad considering they only finished in 12th and literally 2 points out. If there was ever a point for a 2-point difference, then this will be a bit. I won't count, obviously. I can't. If I was to tell you guys at the start of the season that Newcastle would finish with 45 points, they would be above Wolves, Crystal Palace, Southampton, Burnley, I think you'd take it. Steve Bruce deserved that amazing month award for the manager of the month because they had a great end to the season. 3 wins out of the last 5 games for Newcastle, guys, was brilliant. 17 points there above the relegation zone. Although it might not be the most, attractive football to watch, they got the job done. They did. When people wanted Steve Bruce to go within a bad period of the season, they shocked us all. Fair play, Newcastle. They really did surprise us. Our 13th position is a prediction that they might surpass my current prediction for the new 2021 season in the Premier League. I'm going to go for Southampton. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue the form they had from last season at the end, where Danny Ings became absolutely brilliant. Danny Ings was on fire, wasn't he, for pretty much the whole season. Although I was wrong about this prediction, they did finish in 15th position. I did predict they'd finish 13th. And I think a big reason why they had a much worse season was A, I feel like teams figured them out. B, Danny Ings got 11 goals, whereas the season prior he got 22. So that was a big drop off for him. And I think collectively as a team, they really probably surprised us all. I think we all expected Southampton to push on from their quite good, and good season prior when, they were getting so many more goals than this season. And obviously as a Liverpool fan, as a neutral to Southampton, I'd say that I was kind of surprised where they finished. But will the tactics change much next season? Will they bring a lot of players in? Will they maybe sell players like Danny Ings? We don't know yet. I don't know. I think we were all shocked that they finished 15th and they did not have a good end to the season when you look at the results. 43 points, not exactly amazing for them, but they did survive in the Premier League. I think they'll take that, but they can do better. Now on to maybe the boldest prediction so far for the bottom half of the Premier League table. And you've got to think, if Leeds get into this position, that is superb for a first season. If you're a Leeds fan, comment down below where you think your team will finish in the upcoming Premier League season. And what would you be happy with if you're a Leeds fan? Just surviving even maybe 16th position? Or would you be thrilled with the 12th position that I've predicted your team will finish in? I think Leeds fans would have taken, a decent first season where they've played nice football and they finished maybe in 16th position. But they even proved myself wrong and probably a lot of you guys wrong as well with their brilliant football to watch, and they scored a lot of goals doing that. They did finish in 9th position. Again, by the way, as you've noticed, I do not think I've predicted a single team to finish in the correct position so far. I'm not even joking. I don't think I have so far. Whether I will, I don't know. You guys are going to have to stay tuned for that one. But I don't even know myself, so it's going to be a madness. But they did finish in 9th. And overall, how many goals they scored? They scored 62 goals, but they did concede 54. So only +8 goal difference, which isn't actually the best. But their end of season form was literally insane. 4 wins to finish the season in a row. Not just sporadically. They got 4 wins, lost 1. That is unbelievable to finish the season. They even finished above Everton, which is kind of shocking when you look at Everton's season, but more on Everton soon. And when you take a very detailed look at the signings they made, you've got to say a lot of those signings were fantastic. The goalkeeper, they got Meslier from Lorient in France. Helder Costa was a good player as well. Rodrigo scored, I think, 4 goals in 6 games in the final games of the season. Rafinha was a baller. They really made some shrewd signings. So yeah, that's where a lot of this success has obviously come from. To finish 9th in their first season is amazing for Leeds, you've got to say, and I think they'll go on to push on into the next season. where I'll probably predict them in the top 6. I'm not even joking, I think I might go for it. Why not? Our 11th spot is a fellow Yorkshire team, and I'm going to be going for Sheffield United. Crap. Oh my God. I think we can all agree that we didn't expect Sheffield United to finish this badly. I predicted they'd finish 11th. And to make you guys aware, Sheffield United were relegated, but not only relegated, had one of the worst Premier League seasons in football history. 23 points, 63 goals conceded, 20 scored. You can tell where they went wrong in the transfer window. Minus 43 goal difference. This might be the worst prediction of all prediction videos you've seen this week. My God, that was a bad prediction, wasn't it, guys? Wow. After their incredible season last year, they just dropped off in the worst way possible. And it's a shame because they have a good foundation of a club there. And, you know, their fans are brilliant. And to see them relegated in that way is very shocking. To only score 20 goals, there's no chance any team will survive scoring that many goals. Well, that little goals in a season, no chance. They did sign Ryan Brewster from us. They just couldn't score. 20 goals, guys, in the Premier League season is quite horrific. It's awful. Will they return to the Premier League next season after their championship season? Let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, sad to see Sheffield United be relegated, but it's brutal. Football is brutal. We move on to the top half of the Premier League, and in the 10th spot, I'm going to go for a team that, I'm not going to lie, guys, I'm not very confident of finishing 10th because they can either maybe go to 13th, 14th, or they could even go to 8th or 7th. I just don't know with this team. We're going to go with Burnley. My logic was okay. I still stand by that logic. You just don't know with Burnley. They might get loads of good home results, but this season they were pretty bad at, well, they were very bad at home. They might have had, I think they may have had the worst home record in the Premier League, especially toward the end of the season. But they were so up and down the whole season. To make you aware, they did finish in the 17th position of the Premier League. So again, we're not adding, guys, to my points tally here. We're really doing bad here with my Premier League predictions for the 2021 season, a season like no other before. But they finished 17th. They scored 33 goals, conceded 55. They were only 9 points off relegation. So yeah, was not a good end to the season either. Lost 4 out of 5, only winning 1 in the last 5 games. So yeah, Burnley fans, at least you guys survived the season, but you've got to do better next season. You know, where is that Burnley who were really tough to play, especially at Turf Moor? That Burnley is still there, man. I do believe in Burnley to have a better season next season, but yeah, that was a bad one. To finish 7 positions out of my prediction, this is going well, isn't it? Really, really well. Oh God, I love this. On to the 9th position. Now, this is another bold prediction, guys. I believe Leicester will actually have a bit of a drop-off season. I think they're going to be finishing 9th in the new season. And I've got to say, they did not have a good end to the season. They really did throw away the top 4 Champions League football, which is massive for any team. They were 4 points off Chelsea in the end. And if Leicester won their last 2 games, they would have been in the Champions League, which obviously would have been superb for their club. And here we are again. Leicester City did, again, unfortunately, guys, bottle the Champions League and finish in 5th position. So 4 positions off, not the best prediction in my opinion. That wasn't a great prediction from myself there. I'll hold my hands up and say that. But I think, you know, they lost their last 2 games. If they won the last 2 games, guys, you know, they would have finished in 3rd position. Liverpool, my team, would have finished in 4th. Chelsea 5th. That's the difference. For the last few seasons, they keep throwing away the final few games where it all counts. They've had a great season. Good signings from Leicester as well, with the likes of Iñárritu joining them, playing really well throughout the whole season. Vardy having another solid season. Great players all round. But again, something about Leicester, guys, and particularly Brendan Rodgers, when it counts, they still do not deliver in the league, especially at the end of the season. Obviously, when they won the Premier League, they were phenomenal and deserved to win. But for the last few seasons, guys, they keep not qualifying for the Champions League. And if you guys are a Leicester fan, how do you feel about continuously not qualifying for the Champions League? Or are you happy? Maybe to get in 5th position, you know, Europa League, FA Cup trophy. There are lots of positives for Leicester. Now on to the 8th place Premier League team in my 20 and 21 prediction video today. is going to be Wolves. Now, it has been one of the most difficult positions to predict because it can honestly go so many different ways. However, their team is quality. Incredibly difficult team to beat, no matter where they play, home or away. Adama Traore's quality, I think he's great, actually. I would not mind us going for him, guys, Liverpool, honestly. Maybe not now. Adama Traore is always a threat going forward, but we all know his final product has just been lacking, especially this season of all seasons. They finished 13th. 13th. They were behind Newcastle, Aston Villa, Everton. They finished 1 point above Crystal Palace, and in fact, they lost their last 3 games of the Premier League season. So that's when you know Wolves just massively dropped off. Obviously losing their main striker and great player himself in Raul Jimenez. Hopefully his recovery is going really well, guys, as well. Really good striker, and they brought in a few players to kind of, replace Jimenez for the season, and it just didn't really work out. They didn't score as many goals as the previous season. In fact, they scored 36 goals, conceding 52, so their defense needs to be worked on as well. And they've now actually lost their manager. He is now left Wolves. They're going to get a new manager in, by the looks of it, a new manager this week as well. Will they rebound next season? They're probably going to make a lot of changes within the team. Wouldn't be surprised if they do strengthen in defence. Who do Wolves need? Comment down below. But my prediction, guys, of Wolves finishing in 8th was officially 5 positions off as they finished 13th. I'm going to go for Everton at 7. Now, I think last season I predicted they'd finish like 9th. So that's 2 spots above. I actually went with 8th for Everton last season. So it's a bit of a switch up. But obviously, they've just agreed to sign Allen, who's now an Everton player. They've seem to be building a quality team. They're about to, I believe, sign James Rodriguez, unless he's already signed. They've kept hold of Richarlison at striker position. They're going to build on their team from last season. I think they'll actually surprise us, guys. And although they kept hold of Richarlison, they did buy Rodriguez, who started off the season on fire. Was unbelievable. Calvert-Lewin had a really good season, although did tail off towards the end, but overall he scored, I think it was like 13, 14 goals. He actually scored 16 goals in 33 games, and the season prior, 13, so clearly is a proven Premier League striker now. They did finish in 10th, so 3 positions out. Not even joking, guys. Everton were actually top of the Premier League for a few weeks at the start of the season. That really happened. I think people forget about that. They were fantastic to start with, then massively dropped off. They finished with 59 points. They won 2 and lost 2 and drawn 1 their final 5 games. I still stand by the fact, and I've spoken to a few friends of mine who are Everton fans, and they all say it, they all wish they sold Richarlison for like, was it 90 million to Barcelona? Because they've got Calvert-Lewin, who did score more goals than him. I mean, Richarlison scored 7 goals, guys, and got 3 assists in 34 games. Not really good enough for one of their main players in the last season that's just passed. If you're an Everton fan, what do you think you should do with your striker position? Would you guys sell Richarlison? Would you keep hold of him again? What should you do? Now on to the 6th position in the Premier League table, and I believe that, honestly, guys, from the 4th spot till about the 9th spot, it could really go so many different ways. Obviously, it all depends on which players unfortunately get injured this season. Harry Kane had this issue last season, which might surprise you guys about my prediction now, and I've gone for Spurs in the 6th spot. Guys, we were so close to getting 3 points, and still I have not guessed a single team in the right position here, guys. This is really happening. But I've gone for Spurs at 6, right? I went for that. However, they did finish in 7th. Only 1 place out. Maybe we change the rules next season, or should we keep the rules as they are now? Because I feel like it's more brutal that way. It's a bit more, I guess, correct in terms of the rule scoring. But they did finish 3 points off 6th. Really pretty good prediction, I'd say. However, Spurs and Arsenal are always in my predictions like 6th, 7th, 8th. I never see them getting top 4 for some reason, especially with the current season just gone. Just didn't really see it, but they're about to lose Harry Kane. How will they do without him? It looks like they might finish worse off next season. But I mean, for this past season just gone, they were very inconsistent. They somehow still did get 62 points though. They did score a hell of a lot of goals. 68 goals scored, 45 conceded. They still need to improve in a lot of areas, but I think this prediction wasn't that bad. Compared to my West Ham prediction and Wolves and Sheffield United, it was probably amazing compared to those predictions. I know Mourinho has had the off-season to work on more, obviously, tactics, new season, which players he wants to get. He signed Doty from Wolves, which is a good signing. Former Arsenal fan himself. Mourinho has really been hilarious to watch on Spurs All or Nothing. It's weird with Mourinho, isn't it? I mean, he got them to a final, but then got sacked the week prior. He was amazing to watch on Amazon Prime's All or Nothing. Definitely do recommend that, guys. Do give it a watch. But I feel like Mourinho needs to either refresh his tactics in his next job at Roma, or if he comes back to the Premier League again, it's like, would a club hire him? Because he has got sacked from Man United, Spurs, Chelsea, obviously, although he did come back and I think he won a Premier League trophy with them. I don't know, guys, about Mourinho returning to the Premier League and doing well again. What's got to happen with Mourinho in the Premier League in the future? If he does come back, would he do well? What club would he go to? Maybe Arsenal? Don't think he'd go to Arsenal, would he? No, that's another bad prediction. Either way, I think they'll finish 6th and they won't be the highest ranked North London club in the Premier League. Because that, in my opinion, belongs to Arsenal in the 5th spot. As you guys can see in the Premier League table, I'm going to go for Arsenal in 5th spot, guys. Which again, very difficult, like 6th position, right? Sorry to Spurs fans, I am wrong on that one. You guys did get the highest position for a North London football club in the Premier League in the 2021 season. I went for Arsenal at 5th. Looking back, that wasn't good logic. I think if I did this prediction again, but for that 2021 season, right, I honestly think I would have gone for like 7th or 8th. Looking at it, I mean, they didn't really have too many goal scorers in the top scoring chart at all. They were really inconsistent, but weirdly, at the end of the season, they did start to pick things up again. Although they did finish 8th in the Premier League, they finished there, guys, with 61 points. I did not realize this. Wow, Arsenal won the final 5 games of the season. I know that we finished as the number 1 informed team in like the final 10 games, but I think Arsenal must have been second. They won the final 5 games, guys. That's actually incredible. They beat West Brom 3-1, Newcastle 2-0, Chelsea 1-0, Crystal Palace 3-1. So you look at that and it's like, what a great end to the season. It doesn't look great in terms of the table, but has Arteta secured his job for the next season with the final 5 games won? They still need to get rid of a lot of players for me. Willian's got to go. He had a crap season for Arsenal. Their defence is still a mess. It really is. Although saying that, they did actually concede only 7 goals more than Man City. So maybe it's not as bad as I thought, but still, they could be a lot better, Arsenal. Finishing 8th is not good enough for Arsenal. They should be top 4 every season. But yeah, not a great prediction again. Now on to a team that I think we can all agree, if you're not a, Man United fan, you probably hate their club. Whenever I get a Man United player on FIFA, they tend to be discarded unless they're like 90 rating. But I've got to be honest, their transfer window has been, well, now pretty good. If they sign Sancho, which has been going on for the longest time, I know Mark Goldbridge is very keen to sign him, then they might finish higher in my prediction if they do sign Sancho. However, as of now, I'm going to say, guys, that Manchester United will finish 4th, which, I mean, if you're a United fan, would you guys take that, or do you think the time is now? In my opinion, the time is not now for the Premier League challenge for them. I wasn't right about their prediction. I was right that the time was not now. It was Man City's time to go win the Premier League. But I feel like that was an okay prediction. I don't think it was that bad. If you look at who they brought in and stuff in terms of transfers, I don't think it was that bad. But this is definitely where I got 766 dislikes on this prediction video. 100%. That it was all United fans, guys. They can't stand me with these predictions. They really can't. Oh, I love it though. It's brilliant. Jamie Carragher summed up really well. If you want to win the Premier League in this day and age, I think you've got to have at least, 80 points now? Back in the day, Man United would win the Premier League with, 80 points or 79 points. Chelsea would as well. And I think Jamie Carragher was spot on. I mean, you look at the top 4, Man United did get 74 points, which is good for them for what their squad is like. I'm just being brutally honest. I think you've got to agree, right? It's not a Premier League winning team yet, right? But you look at how many points City did finish on, 86 points. So that analysis there was spot on from Jamie Carragher. You've got to get at least 80 points to even think about winning the league or challenging for the title. They were only 6 points off 80 points. And at one point, they were neck and neck there with City. So they were close at one point. Do I see the Man United getting 85 points above? I don't, in my opinion. I might be wrong. In a year's time, I hope to God I'm not wrong. Oh, God, here we go. Here come the Man United fans in the comments down below. Let's go. Bring it on. But again, guys, as you can see from the points total, I have literally not guessed a single team correctly so far. Wow. Subscribe for more amazing predictions. Moving on though, guys, to the third position in the Premier League prediction is going to be Chelsea. Now, this might be controversial because I know you look at their transfer window, guys, they've signed incredibly well. Timo Werner, Havertz, Ziyech, Chilwell, they're making me doubt my current prediction. I still think they need someone better alongside Thiago Silva. They've signed as well, Jesus. But he is obviously, 35? He's probably not got many years left at the top of his game. However, with that experience in Champions League, reaching finals a lot, I think he'll be a very nice signing for them. And he was a good signing, to be honest. He played well when he played for Chelsea. And Chelsea finished 4th. They did finish only 2 points off my team, Liverpool, guys. So again, I think I'll take that prediction. I think that was the closest point for the rules of this prediction video I will get to right now. But you look at Timo Werner, I think he had a record for the most VAR goals ever disallowed in a single season. And I think he had like 12 goals disallowed or something crazy. So he got unlucky. I think Timo Werner's a good player, just might need someone alongside him. I think, to be honest, if Havertz for Chelsea next season really is the Havertz that we probably expected this season, where he goes on to be a great player for Chelsea, that will massively help Timo Werner. I also think they've got great players in Mason Mount. They've got a really good squad. Chilwell, they've got a good goalkeeper now as well, Mendy. They've got a great foundation of a good team, a great team for the next season. So yeah, Chelsea overall, although they lost the last game against Aston Villa in not the greatest way, they also lost the FA Cup final to Leicester. They got top 4. They weren't looking amazing with Lampard this season. Tuchel was an amazing appointment for Chelsea, and they had a good season, really. Like, they've reached the Champions League final. I mean, my God, it's like we forgot about that. They might win the Champions League. They might do. So, yeah, they finished 4th, 67 points in the Premier League. Chelsea fans will take that after the way they started this season with Lampard. They must do. So, who is going to finish second in my massive Premier League prediction video today? Well, I'm going to go for, drumroll please, going to go for Man City. I've said it. I've never ever predicted that we will win a Premier League season on these Premier League predictions. You guys know me. I'm very unbiased. Am I about to predict we will win the Premier League? Yes, for the first time. However, I think if Man City had signed Lionel Messi, I probably would have said they might win the league. I'm going to say might. It's a strong might. They did not sign him. They have obviously kept hold of, Aguero's probably going to retire there maybe, or maybe move on later on. But Aguero, still world class. He'll score at least 20 goals. Kevin De Bruyne, probably the best player in the Premier League in my opinion. The team is great. However, defensively, I still think they need to sign the likes of Koulibaly, who is in talks, I believe, with them. So that's going to be a big, massive transfer if they sign him. They did sign the player of the season. Has to be said, guys. Ruben Dias was, in my opinion, the best player by quite a distance in the Premier League season in 2021. Man City proved me wrong, and they went and won the Premier League. Deserved champions. Congrats to them. Fair play. They deserve it, obviously. And they finished, guys, with 86 points. They were outstanding. Although we had a good start, as in my team Liverpool, guys, to this current past season, they were just brilliant from January onwards. They were absolutely fantastic, and they just did not drop off their great season. They were amazing and proved me wrong, and probably proved you guys wrong as well. Maybe not. Maybe you guys predicted they'll win the league, but here we go. They did lose Leroy Sané to Bayern. They did bring in, though, RK from Bournemouth for 41 million and Ferran Torres, who might be a very good transfer for them. So you do forget about some of their signings. I mean, Ferran Torres had a really good season in the Premier League and the Champions League as well. RK for 41 million looks a bit like, at this moment, a bit of a transfer flop in terms of the Premier League at least. That's a lot of money to pay for a centre-back who only played 10 games in the season. Ruben Dias was that good, and John Stones collectively, that he couldn't get a game really, other than, a few games here and there. But yeah, they won the Premier League. I predicted they'd finish second. What's more to say, guys? I was wrong again by one position. I wasn't far off. I really wasn't. Now on to my team, Liverpool, who I've gone for back-to-back Premier League champions. I've gone for it, guys. Liverpool to win the 2020 2021 Premier League season. I've gone for it. I can't wait to hopefully see that happen. We won the Premier League for the first time this season. Hopefully by this time next year, we're lifting the Premier League trophy, and I'm there in the crowd, probably in the main stand, because that's where my normal ticket is. High up in the main stand, by the way. It's really high up, but it's amazing to be there. I would go crazy, even more crazy, if obviously we could win the Premier League again at Anfield, and when the fans are there. How wrong I was, guys. Although we had a good start to the season, bar that random Aston Villa game that no one ever remembers, we finished amazing in the last 10 games. I think we won 8 or 9 of the last 10 games. We won the last 5 in a row as well, like Arsenal. We got 69 points. 3 of those points were massively a big thanks to Alisson Becker with his amazing header in the top right corner. Unbelievable. But I did predict we'd finish back-to-back Premier League champions. What's really bizarre about our Premier League winning season in 1920 is that we're probably never going to get a Premier League trophy parade, I don't think. It'll be really strange if we have the parade, and obviously City have just won the Premier League. I guess we might do because it's a big celebration for that specific season, but how strange is that? We've not had that, obviously, due to the pandemic that's happened. But I did predict we'd finish first. I was 1 position off again, but I'm really clutching at straws here. I think without the injury to Van Dijk, with maybe our players settling in faster, you've seen the difference Thiago's made in the last 10 games of the season. The Van Dijk injury, though, was absolutely massive. You got to think, if City had that kind of injury to someone like Ruben Dias, or even, I guess, De Bruyne, you'd see them drop off quite a bit. But yeah, that was massive. Having the injuries to Jota, the injuries to Thiago, having to get new centre-backs in, who, to be honest, you got to say, guys, Nat Phillips was that good for us in this season that a player like Kabak, who was thought to be a very good potential centre-back, is now going to be going back to the Bundesliga. So you've got to say it. Although we had a terrible mid-season, we had a fantastic end of year where so many people wrote us off. I remember Salah did tweet, for the final games of the season, we're going to fight to the end. That was actually in February, tweeted that. And they did. So fair play. Our end of season was absolutely amazing. Gives me a lot of confidence going into the next season, knowing that a player like Thiago has fully settled in. Have we lost a great player in Gino Wijnaldum? Yes. Can we replace him with someone good? Hopefully, yes. But you've got to say it. Although it's not the season we wanted, to finish third when we were shocking for that mid-season form and we lost 7-2 to Villa, I think I'll take it. With all the injuries we had, and people said, it's the worst title defence ever. It really wasn't, guys. If you look at someone like Chelsea from years ago, where they dropped off to I think it was 9th after they won the Premier League, it wasn't as bad as that. Was it bad at the midway season? Absolutely, it was terrible. But we got it back, man. To finish third when we were 8th for a while is amazing. So honestly, you've got to look at the positives here that we're going to take into the next season with hopefully a fully fit Joe Gomez, fully fit. We forgot about Joe Gomez injury, guys, didn't we? Gomez back in the team, Van Dijk back in the team, Jota playing more games as well, Thiago settling in. It's going to be a very interesting season next season. But yeah, I was wrong on this prediction, guys. Again, did not predict the correct team to finish first. That was Man City. I predicted we'd win back-to-back Premier League titles. Didn't happen. But we go again next season, right? We go again. And there were my Premier League predictions, guys, for 2021 and my full reaction to it. Please leave a like for this video. Very fun to make. There is the overall points tally, as you can see round here-ish on your screen. That is how many points I got. How many predictions did you get correct for the Premier League season? Leave a like if you want to see the new 2021 and 2022 Premier League prediction soon. Maybe we can do some more transfer video content as well, because there's so many transfers happening soon. Leave a like, subscribe, and have a fantastic Premier League special day. Enjoy.